What's going on, guys? It's Josh here from Jed's Fitness and welcome to the first training video of my upper lower series. In this video I'll be going through my lower A workout. Now this session is going to be primarily focusing on the hamstrings. However, I will be throwing in a few quad exercises as well. Volume throughout this session is not going to be huge. Reason being, it's the start of a new training program for me, meaning the start of a new mesocycle. So the volume will start off fairly low, so I've got plenty of room to progress and add sets as I go throughout the training program. Progressive overload, ladies and gents. Now, another reason for my training volume being lower than usual is because on an upper lower split, I'll be training the same muscle group almost every other day. So the more frequently that you're training the muscle group, the less volume you want to be hitting it in each session, because the volume will equate over the week. So you can't just go on doing a full 6-7 exercise full-blown leg session every other day. You're just going to end up burning out and overtraining. So without further ado, sit back, relax and enjoy the video. So the first exercise of my lower A session was RDLs, or Romanian straight-legged deadlifts. I'm performing this exercise with a barbell, but you could also use dumbbells or kettlebells as an alternative. Now here I'll perform a few warm-up sets, gradually increasing the weight throughout each set until I hit my working weight. I'll then perform 3 to 4 sets throughout a 6 to 8 rep range. So this is the movement that I want to focus on primarily. It's the first movement of the workout. So I'm going to be taking a bit longer rest times for this. So sort of 2 to 3 minutes to allow my body adequate time in between each set to recover. It just means that I can go into the next working set knowing that my intensity is going to be full and I can shift the weight on the bar. Now here I think I had 110 on the bar, and although I was aiming for sort of 6 to 8 reps, I think I pushed out 15 reps. So for the next set I increased the weight and dropped the rep range a bit. Now with this exercise, it's important to thrust back on your hips, feeling the stretch in your hamstrings and then contracting your hamstrings and pushing through with your glutes at the top. It's quite easy to engage your lower back with this movement. If you're new to this movement, I would recommend starting off relatively light, keeping a neutral spine and try not to roll your lower back at the bottom of the movement, otherwise you're just asking for injury. So that's the first exercise down, straight-legged dead. Actually felt alright. That's the most I've lifted on RDLs in a while, actually, to be fair. So feeling pretty decent. Moving on now to front squats. Moving on to the second exercise of the session. It was front squats with the barbell. As you can see, I'm performing my first warm-up set here. My hips are a bit tight. You can see my ass coming underneath, dipping slightly, and then my soleus is a bit tight as well. So I use a little technique that I haven't used in a while, actually, where you get the Olympic bar, place weights either side, put it over your knees and allow it to stretch down on your soleus and open up your hips, sitting in the squat position. So I then moved on to my first warm-up set. Now, although I had warmed up previously with my RDLs, I hadn't yet done much quad activation to warm up. So I did a few warm-up sets with front squats before hitting my first working set. Now with this exercise, you're going to be driving up through your heels and contracting those quads. You're coming down to at least parallel, if not lower. And you want to be keeping your back nice and upright, in an upright position with your elbows out in front of you. Now, for some reason today this felt stupidly heavy, probably because I haven't done them in a while. So for the next set, I dropped the weight and increased the amount of reps that I did. So I think I hit 15 to 20 reps with this last set, whereas normally I would have aimed for 8 to 10 reps. For this exercise, I'll be using a shorter rest time. It's only 2 sets, so I'll be using 90 seconds rest in between. That right there is the fucking quad destroyer. Split squats. The third exercise of the day was split squats. Now I like to perform these with dumbbells. There's 2 sets of this exercise. The thing to remember with these is to keep your knees tracking over your toes. You want to again keep a nice sort of upright posture. However, in the first set of the exercise, I do lean forward a bit and take a bit of a narrower stance to try and prioritise the quad. So I'll do 10 to 12 reps on each leg before moving on to my second set. I'll have a 90-second rest in between again. And with my second set, I tend to step out a bit further. So I've got a slightly wider stance and sit upright more. This will just put more focus on the hamstrings. So on to my last upper leg exercise. This is the isolation exercise. It's the hamstring curl, line hamstring curl. I normally leave the isolation work till the end. So I start off with sort of 3 main compounds and then move on to the isolation work to finish off. The rep range throughout this exercise and for most of my other isolation work is going to be 10 to 15 reps. I will incorporate some pause reps, and depending on how I'm feeling, this is going to be the exercise that I incorporate into supersets or drop sets. Now with this exercise, it's important to maintain control of the movement throughout the full range of movement. So on the concentric, you want to explode up, dragging your heels into your bum, and then on the eccentric, you want a 2 to 3 second negative. After performing hamstring curls, I moved on to training the little twigs. As I don't have a seated calf raise in my gym, I found a way to adapt the seat line hamstring curl to sort of make my own. I find this exercise very effective, and it's also important to hit your calves from both angles, so with your knee bent and also straight, just to make sure you're hitting both the soleus and the gastrocnemius. With this exercise, I work through a 15 to 20 rep range. Now, a lot of people tend to bounce when doing calf raises. It's important that you pause at the bottom of the movement because your calf is actually attached to your Achilles heel, which is a tendon and acts like an elastic band. So if you're bouncing around, it's not actually your calf that's contracting to make the movement, it's more your Achilles twanging the weight back up. So it's not a very efficient movement. So I did 2 sets of these before moving on to walking kettlebell raises. I haven't seen this exercise being performed much, but I find it a really good movement. All you're going to do is keep your feet sort of shoulder width apart, holding 2 dumbbells, kettlebells or plates. You're then going to contract your calves, so going onto your tiptoe, stepping onto the next foot where you'll do an eccentric contraction back down to the floor. You'll then repeat the movement like you can see here. I think I used 8 to 10 reps on each leg. I find this is really good because the eccentric contraction just tears those extra muscle fibers, and also the fact that your calf has constantly got to be stabilizing you as you're alternating between the 2 legs. I find it really helps pump blood into the calf. I then finished off the session with some calf bounces. I just did 1 set of these. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I did actually throw in a couple of ab exercises after this lower session, but unfortunately, school by error, my camera died on me. I'll make sure that I fully charge my battery and include my ab workout at the end of my next lower session, which will be my lower B session. The next video of this series is going to be my upper A workout. This is going to be focusing on my chest, my back and my triceps. So I'll try and get that filmed for you in the next couple of days. Please give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Get subscribed, there's more content to come. If you've got any questions, drop a comment down below or just hit me up on any social media. I'll leave all the links in the description. Peace out, take it easy, I'll catch you in the next one.